We need to talk about Greenland, seriously. It's this land of incredible contradictions, a place that might be richer than almost anywhere on Earth, but a place with virtually no roads. So how did this massive sheet of ice become one of the hottest geopolitical properties on the planet? Well, let's dive in.
First, just try to get your head around the scale of this place. Greenland is huge. We're talking bigger than any single country in Europe. But its entire population, all 57,000 of them, could literally fit inside a modest football stadium. This gigantic, almost empty space, that's the first big piece of our puzzle. And when we say empty, we mean the infrastructure is almost non-existent. The entire island has exactly 3 traffic lights and 1 shopping mall. There are no roads connecting any of the towns. If you want to get around, you're looking at water taxis, helicopters, or, yep, dog sleds. Now, this isn't just a fun fact. It's a huge barrier that's kept Greenland's incredible potential locked away for centuries. Which, of course, brings us to the big question, why now? Why are the world's superpowers all of a sudden laser-focused on this remote, frozen island? The United States just opened a consulate there. China and Russia are constantly making moves. Something is definitely happening on the roof of the world. Okay, so the first clue to Greenland's value isn't actually new at all. It's about geography. For decades, military planners have had a nickname for it, the unsinkable aircraft carrier, parked in one of the most strategic locations imaginable. And here's the chilling reason why. If the absolute worst were ever to happen, the shortest, most direct flight path for nuclear missiles between Russia and the United States goes right over the Arctic. That makes Greenland the single most important spot on Earth for North America's missile defense systems. It's the tripwire. And the US has known this for a long time. Their presence goes way back. In World War II, they built bases there to fight the Nazis, who were sneakily setting up their own weather stations. Right after the war, President Truman secretly tried to buy the whole island. When that didn't work, they signed a treaty that created the Thule Air Base, which became a vital outpost against Soviet bombers and subs during the Cold War. Today, that strategic value is even higher. Thule Air Base has a state-of-the-art radar that can see thousands of miles into space. The island is also perfect for listening for submarines in the North Atlantic. And get this, it's a guardian for the actual physical undersea cables that carry all of our internet data between Europe and America. Plus, as the ice melts, it's becoming the gatekeeper to a whole new shipping route. So yeah, its military importance is not just history, it's all about the future. All right, so let's move on to the second clue, and this one is massive. We're talking about the absolutely staggering amount of mineral wealth that's buried just under all that ice. Think of it as a modern-day treasure island. Now, to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to look at this chart. Rare earth metals are the secret sauce in everything from your smartphone to fighter jets, and right now the US and pretty much the entire Western world are critically dependent on their #1 rival, China, to get them. That is a huge, huge strategic problem. And this is why Greenland is suddenly seen as the solution. According to geologists, it's holding a full royal flush of resources. It has 48 out of the 50 minerals the US considers critical. It's got the largest untouched deposits of those rare earths in the world, more uranium than the entire United States, and potentially billions of barrels of oil. It's not just a jackpot, it's a geological miracle. And here's the wild card in all of this: climate change. It's the key that is slowly unlocking this frozen vault. As that massive 3-kilometer-thick ice sheet melts away, it is gradually revealing what could be the single biggest resource prize in human history. The only question is, who gets to claim it? But, this story isn't just about missiles and minerals. We have to talk about the most important and honestly the most complicated piece of this whole puzzle: the people of Greenland themselves and their very powerful dream of running their own country. Now, check this out. This is fascinating. When you look at a country's population data like this, a weird dent like that almost always means one thing: catastrophe. A brutal war, a terrible famine, something that wiped out a chunk of a generation. But Greenland never had a war. There was no famine. So what on earth happened in the 1970s that caused the birth rate to just fall off a cliff? The answer, unfortunately, lies in a really painful history with Denmark, which was the colonial power for centuries. This includes a horrifying social experiment where Inuit children were literally taken from their families to be re-educated as Danes.
And explaining that population gap, a secret and coercive birth control program where Danish doctors put IUDs in thousands of Inuit women and girls, many without their knowledge or consent. These traumas are the fuel for a powerful independence movement today.
And this sentiment really gets to the heart of it. But here's the catch. Becoming independent is incredibly complicated. Right now, almost half of Greenland's entire government budget is a subsidy from Denmark. And their whole economy pretty much relies on just one thing: fishing. That mineral wealth under the ice, for many, that looks like the only real ticket to true independence.
So now you see how all the pieces click together. You've got this supremely strategic military spot, trillions of dollars in resources coming out of the ice, and a local population that desperately wants independence. That is the perfect recipe for a 21st century gold rush. And this is Denmark's huge dilemma. It's a small country trying to manage a territory 50 times its own size. Its entire patrol for the Arctic consists of just 4 ships, 1 plane, and, famously, 6 dog sled teams. They simply don't have the muscle to develop or defend Greenland on their own, which leaves the door wide open for other global powers to come knocking.
And that competition is already red hot. You can see it playing out. The U.S. keeps stepping in to block Chinese investments, whether it's airports or critical mines. And just recently, an American company swooped in and bought a key mining operation for way less than a Chinese rival offered. It shows you that this isn't about business anymore, it's geopolitics. The message from Washington could not be clearer. China is not getting a foothold in Greenland, period.
So that's where we are. The people of Greenland are caught in a vice. On one side, you have their dream of independence, paid for by this incredible wealth under their feet. And on the other, you have the crushing ambitions of global superpowers who see the island as a prize. It leaves us with one final massive question. In the end, who will actually decide the fate of the world's last great treasure island?